Hello and welcome to the project. In this project, we'll see how to build a video sharing platform from scratch using React.js. So what is meant by video sharing platform? So it is basically, as you can see, YouTube is a video sharing platform. So we are going to build something similar to YouTube or possibly called as a YouTube clone. So this will be the home page of your website you are seeing over here. We'll be using the data from the YouTube API from the Google Developer Console to fetch these videos based on the search item what the user is typing. So basically we'll follow these steps. We'll set up the project and then we'll learn about how to use a YouTube API, how to use Material UI grid system, and then we'll be dealing with the components, video detail component, video list component, video item component, and also exporting these components one by one and also exporting all of them together using index.js component file. And then finally we'll finish up the project by after completing all the business logic code inside each end of this component. The frameworks and technology that you will learn will be components, project structure, lifecycle methods, state management, how to pass props from parent component to child component, working on API requests, and how to get the YouTube API key from the Google developer tools, and also Axios and Material UI. So basically this Axios is for to fetch requests from given APIs like YouTube API, and if you are using some other project, for example, if you want Google authentication API, building with that API and all. Now we'll see our final working of the project that we are going to build. So this will be the landing page. There will be a search, and then since there are nothing we are searching here, there is still loading. If we search something, for example, I will search JavaScript. You can see I'm getting videos related to JavaScript. I'll search Avengers. You can see I'm getting videos related to Avengers. As you can see, we are getting 5 videos over here. This is because in the code I have given the max results as 5. So only the 5 videos will be fetched from the search of YouTube API, and then those 5 videos we are writing the code how to display them like this. You can also play the video. As you can see, you can click on the video and the video is play. There will be the same options of YouTube versions, subtitles, captions, and everything. So here, this thing, you are getting the title over here in the video list component, and also in the video detail component you are having the title. So this works because of the passing React props from one component to other component, as I said in the state management and all in the frameworks and technology that you will learn. So this is basically the Google Developer Console that we'll be using, the API services and all. We'll see that in the further videos. And here when you click on the title, it will redirect you to the YouTube real YouTube page, and you can see the videos and all there. So this is how it works. This is you can search anything. If you want to search Star Wars, you can see we are getting the results very quickly. So this is very fast, and then it is almost similar to YouTube API. You can search, you can watch everything that you watch in YouTube here. If you want, you can go to one further step and also build all the styling, all the CSS like YouTube logo, or the page that you want to build your logo and video sharing platform, the name you give to your video sharing platform and everything. So yeah, so this is how we can do it. I'll search one more thing. Yeah. So once you refresh, you can see everything is gone because this is the basic starting landing page that we are going to build. You can see the code here. We'll be using the grid system of from the React Material UI, and then we'll write some function, and then we'll be building the components of index.js where we can export all the components through a single line: search bar, video detail, video item, video list. So basically we'll see one by one. We'll write the code from scratch and see what the code means and how it works. We'll see everything from that video, and I hope you are excited as well to start the project. Let's keep going. Hello and welcome to the new video. So now in this video, we'll see how to get started with the React app. So first thing you have to do is create a folder. So I have created a folder in you can see here in the D drive where I keep all my React projects. Once you can click on ls, you can see like all the React projects that I'm having. Now we want to build a React project inside this folder. So cd into that folder. You can know the present working directory using pwd command. I'll be clearing the screen. So now here I'm inside the like project folder where I want to start my React app. So you can do this with only one line of command, npx create React app. So what this does is basically creating a React app is a very big process. Like we have to install so many dependencies, so many modules, node modules and all. So instead of us doing all those things, what Facebook developers did is they created a script. So this script actually does all the installation part of all those modules and dependencies. So the name of the script that they gave to that script is create React app. So this is the name of the script. So how to run this script? Running this script is done by the npx. So npx is like you can call it as a part of npm node package manager. So we'll be getting this thing from that npx, and then create React app is the name of the script that installs all the React app modules and everything that we want to get started with the React app. And then the final thing, this dot, what this dot does is that it will create the React app in the current directory itself. Like we are in the video sharing app directory, it will create in the current directory. Or if you want to create another folder, you can mention the folder name. But now as I have created the folder and want to create the React app inside this folder itself, I'll be using this dot. So when you click on enter, and also one more thing that you have to note is that the name of the app that you're going to create should always be in small caps. So if you're having a capital letter, like the folder name is video S capital sharing web app, then you may get an error, you may get some error saying that you have to change your name. So that's why keep everything in small caps and then run the npx create React app command. Once this is done, the app will take like around 2 to 3 minutes time. So we'll get back once the app is created. So once it's done, you can see here the messages such as happy hacking, npm start. So once you see these kind of messages, that means you have successfully created your React app. As you can see here, the React app, all the node modules required, the default boilerplate code, everything has came. So now how to start the React app? Simply there is one simple command, npm start. So this will start your React app on your local host. The default local host is 3000. So it will start it on 3000 local host. It will directly open, no need of us to open it. So we'll wait for that. Before that, I want to tell you that what React developers did is that they have gave a boilerplate code for this React, so that whenever you open, you will see a screen with the React logo and all. So we don't want that. We want plain, pure white screen to start off with. So for that, we have to do some cleaning process. So we have to delete all the unnecessary files and also the code. I'll be deleting all the clear the app.js inside the app, clear the app.css inside the app.js. No need of this thing. No need of anything. Like simply basically we want it to print hello world. So I'll print hello world. Or you can also print video sharing application. Index.js, remove these things. Okay, index.css is fine. Now we'll remove it inside the public folder. Remove all of this, just index.html. So simply what we are having is inside index.html, we have to clear this also. So while we deleting this everything, yeah, cool. So once we have cleared the boilerplate code, let me explain you what's happening. So inside the index.html, we're having a root division, right? The idea of this division is root. So basically, if you go to index.js, your React DOM.render means you are using a React DOM This is a module that we are getting from React. And then we are rendering the page. We are rendering the app. Where this app should be rendered. So we are rendering this app component. That means the app.js component inside the document.getElementID by root. So inside the element that has this root ID, we are rendering the whole app. So what is that element we are having root? We are having here, right? So everything that we do inside the app.js and separate components, we'll get it over here. So this is the basic understanding of how the React app works. And now inside app.js, we are like simply having the heading video sharing app. So once you open your website, as you can see here, we are getting a simple basic video sharing application heading, H1 heading. So with this, we have created the React app and started with how to, and we got to know how to start with the React app. In the next video, we'll see how to build, how to start with components, and we'll see what how to fetch the data from the YouTube API, like knowing more about the YouTube API, working with the Google Developer console and everything. We'll see that from the next video. In this video, we'll see how to use the grid component of Material UI. So first, we have to import the grid from Material UI. From Material UI. So as you can see, there is a difference here. We are importing the YouTube without curly braces, whereas grid we are importing with curly braces. This is because when you go to YouTube.js, we are exporting it as default. So whenever you're like importing something that is exported as default, no need of curly braces, like you can simply export it. But inside this Material UI core, there are a lot of components. As you can see over here, when you go to Material UI components here, you can see there are many components: box, container, grid, hidden image list, but so there are many components. So like there is no, like the grid is not default exportation. It is also exported, but not as default. So that is why we have to specify it inside the curly braces as grid. So once this is done, now we'll be like returning the grid that we want. So basically coming to the styling, all the Material UI part, you no need to know about the deep Material UI, like how these all work and everything. We'll basically use the, you know, the attributes like given over here. The access is equals to 12, the breakpoint SM6, and everything will be directly using it inside the grid. We'll see the code for that. First, we'll create the grid. So inside this grid, we'll be having the style. The style will be custom style, like the inline style. Actually, I won't prefer you the inline styling, because if you are having a lot of styles, then the inline style will be tough to debug. So what we have to do is we have to basically create a app.css, write the styles over here, and then import the style sheet. But as of now, inside in this project, we'll be handling only small styling part. So no need to create explicitly the file and everything. All the styling will be doing in the app.c or app.js itself. So here the style will be justify content center. Justify. So you can also see whether we have installed the Material UI in the package.json. You can see the Material UI core is installed. So we will not have any problem. Justify content. It will be center. After that, the container spacing will be 10. The container, and then the spacing will be 10. So why we are giving these values? This is basically dependent on the Material UI documentation, how it will access the values. So yeah, you can refer to the documentation or also search for the other documentations of how they will work and everything. Basically, we are using the, you know, the components built by some other developers. These are all the components of Material UI, the Axios and everything. These are the components or functionalities that are built by other developers. We are using them to build a custom, you know, a website that we want to look like. So that's why we're not going to detail what this spacing and all does. This basically gives you the output that you desire. We are more interested into the boilerplate code, how the video item should look like, how to handle the React props, the React React state hooks, the state management, and then the flow of the body and everything. We'll see that. And then another we'll have another grid. Yeah. So here in this grid we'll have item XS is equals to 11. As I said, this is basically the documentation that we are following, like how the React app should look like. We are using it. And inside this grid we'll have 3 grids. So first thing, like we'll have the container spacing is equals to, okay, yeah, container, and spacing equals to 10. Now inside this we'll have 3 different grids. For one is for search bar, one is for video detail, and one is for video list grid. So here we'll have the video list component. We'll first have the search bar, right? First it will be the search bar. For commenting you can use /. Yep. So search bar, and then the next grid will contain a component, video detail, the detail of the video, and then another grid, it will contain the video list. So I'll comment this as of now. Once we build the component, then we can use it. So after the video list, before everything is closed, now we'll have some code inside the attributes inside this grid. Item will be XS will be 12. That means it will take the whole size. The search bar should be the whole size of this thing, right? So that's why we'll be using XS is equals to 12. This is for search bar, and then the video detail will have 8. The same thing can copy over here, and then XS will be 8, and then the same thing over here, but it will be 4. That means we want the 8 should be like, it should take this size. The 4 will take the list of videos that we get from the YouTube API. As you can in YouTube, as you see there, the right side you will be having the videos related to the main video, and then the search bar. So that is what we want to build here. So this is the grid system. Now we'll be building the components for this search bar, video detail, and video list. For that, go to source, create a folder for components, and inside the components we'll be creating the components for this search bar, video detail, video item, video list, and everything. First, search bar.jsx. The difference between JSX and JS is, if you both are valid. If you give the extension as JS, you have to import everything related to React. But if you give JSX, you don't need to import the statement like import React from React. No need to write this statement. So I prefer using search bar.jsx, but there is no problem if you use JS. This just 1 or 2 lines will be extra, like import React from React is a basic extra thing that you have to do. Another component will be video detail dot.jsx, and then the third component will be video list.jsx. Yeah. So now here we'll write the code for the search bar, how the search bar should look, how the video detail should look, how the video list, and inside the video detail how to use the video from the YouTube APIs. And then in the video list we'll have a sub components of video item and everything, and also how to export all these videos together with a single file using the index.js. So this all we'll see from the next video. In this video we'll see how to get started with the YouTube API, how to get the data from it. So firstly we have to create a folder called API inside source, and inside this we'll be having YouTube.js. So we'll be using the YouTube content, the videos that it have, for us to use that in our app. So we'll be creating that YouTube.js. So inside this, now basically we'll be using Axios. For that we have to install them. Yeah. So since we are running the app, we have to use Control C so that the app gets, like, we are breaking the command that is running currently. I think it will take time. So basically we'll write the code and then see everything. So first thing we'll be using Axios. Import Axios from Axios. And then export default Axios dot create base URL. So the base URL will be https www.googleapis.com/youtube/v3. So now what basically here what's happening is we are importing the Axios that will be, yeah. So now we'll npm install them. Npm install Axios -- safe. And then after this we have to also install the material UI that we'll be using in our project. So what we're happening is we are basically like creating this. Axios is used for get requests and post requests kind of thing. You can see what this URL gives you inside the Postman also. This is the base URL. So now we'll be going to the APIs. So you have to go to basically this session, like go to this URL console.cloud.google.com and API/dashboard, and here you will be getting an option called enable APIs. So we'll see that. Oh, it's taking, yeah. So enable APIs and services. When you click on that, you will be getting a search item. So in this we can search for YouTube. The first link that you get, YouTube Data API v3. So this is the API that we'll be using. API is simply application programming interface. That is the set of rules and functions that helps us to access data from other servers. So we'll be basically accessing the YouTube server data, all the videos that are present, the data and the videos that are present inside the YouTube. So we have to go to this manage. When you go to the manage, first I already enabled it, so you are directly getting manage, but first you have to click on enable and then you have to click on manage. So here if you go to the credentials, I'm already having a API key, so that's why no need to create an API. If you don't have, you have to create credentials and you will get an API key. Copy that key and basically you can store it inside environment variables, but this key is temporary. After that you will not be able to use this key. So for you to use it, you have to create a new key and then copy that key and then paste it. So with this is how we will be getting the YouTube API. Once you get the key, like comment it somewhere, but this is very dangerous. If you are a big organization, there may be a threat of stealing the cybersecurity threats. So basically what everyone will do is they'll create an environment variable. So environment variable is create a .env file and then store all the keys and passwords there and then import them through the process of process.environment. There is some code. You can check through the Google documentation, the MDN docs and everything. You'll see how to use environment variables. So as of now in this video, I'll be using direct API key, since this is a small, like it's just a React app that we are building for learning purpose. So once this is done, now we have to go to app.js and then we'll import the like the YouTube API, the YouTube, import YouTube from API/YouTube. So it's automatically filling. That is the beauty of React. That is the beauty of Visual Studio Code. And this is why I use VS Code. It basically has many snippets and functionalities for us to autofill, create divisions with with classes through a shortcut, all the snippets and everything. So I think this is done. Yeah. So the Axios are done. Now I'll install Material UI. You can check whether the Axios are installed or not going to the package.json. Here you can see inside the dependencies the Axios are installed. So after the so there is a error. So there's error. So we'll check why is the error. Material UI. So go to material UI. Yeah. So we have to install it using this command, npm install material UI /core. Not only material UI. When you run it, I think there will be no errors and it will successfully run. Yeah, it is installing. So after installing, you can check that inside the package.json inside the dependencies whether it installed or not. So this is basically we have achieved the target of this video of creating the getting the YouTube API key in the going to the Google Developer Console and then using inside our API folder youtube.js file, importing the Axios and creating the creating the base URL, exporting this. And now in the next video we'll start off with material UI grids and start building the basic structure like search bar, the video detail, video list and everything sequentially. We'll meet in the next video. In this video, we'll see how to implement the search bar component. So in the previous video, we have created the components that we require, and also there will be further components that we need to create. As I said, the video item present in the video list, that component, and also like a component that exports all the components as a single line. So that instead of importing each and every component for one line, we can simply write a logic inside the index.js, which helps us to export all the components present inside the components folder to export as one single line. So we can simply use one single line and export all the components that we use in the app.js. So that we'll build in the future videos. So now in this video, our area of interest is completing this search bar component and then using it in app.js. We'll get started with that. Firstly, since it is JSX, no need to import React, but we need to import use state. So I'll be using the use state hook. So import that use state hook from React. Fine. And next from material UI, I'll be importing paper and text field. So this is basically to get the search bar kind of thing. Okay. Paper and text field. Material UI. So after this, now we'll be creating the search bar constant that we will export and write all the code inside that. Search bar. So inside this we'll be returning just a paper. So this paper will be, the elevation will be 6. As I said in the previous videos, this is not our area of interest, like how React Material UI works and what are the attributes. What this elevation, these all things do, you can simply go to this documentation and check what these things do, and also search the Google MDN documentation. This is basically the styling of the web page. That is basically HTML. We can do it with using HTML forms only, HTML forms and CSS. But instead of that, we are using already some components that are built by other developers. We are using it and using it in our project. We are importing them and using in our project. First thing, we install them, npm install, and then imported them, and then we are using them. So the styling will be some custom CSS. I'll give some padding over here. Padding will be 25 pixels. And then after that, we'll be having our text field. Here inside the text field, okay, this will be our automatic closing tag. So here our props will be. So what do you mean by props? So as you can see, for example, we will have a default HTML elements such as h1, paragraph, h2, h3, image tag, like that. For image tag, suppose you take image tag. If you take image tag, you will have source and alternative. These are basically the attributes of the tag. Here, this is the HTML tag that we are getting by HTML, like the HTML developers build that. This is the default tag. But what if we want to build tags? Like if we want, instead of image, we want something like As I said, search bar is also HTML tag. Basically we are calling it as component because it is the customization that we are making. It is our custom tag. So similarly, we are creating tags. We can also have the properties, the attributes that they have. Here they are called as props. So, okay, understood. So here everything that we will use here will be the props. So the prop full width will be full width, and then label will be, so these are the props that are already present inside the text field document that we are using. Okay, these are developed by some developer that developed this paper, text field and everything, material UI. We are simply using them for the styling purpose. So the label will be search. Okay, so now after this is done, we will be using the state hook for this search. Constant search term, set search term is equals to use state. So what this line is, basically we are creating two things. One is search term. Search term is a constant, like it's a constant, since we are using constant here. It's a constant that stores some value. Okay, and then what is the set search term does is, this is the second parameter. That means it is a function. It is a function that changes the value of this constant. Okay, so whenever we want to change the search term value, then we'll be calling the set search term function. Initially the search term value will be empty string. So initially when there is nothing, the value of the text field will be a search term. Whenever we are changing search term, then the set search term will change that, and also it will keep the value of that search term to the text field. So that we'll do here. So the value will be search term. So whenever we are changing the value inside the search bar, then this gets updated, and then that will be stored inside this value of that text field. So how to do that? How to update the search term whenever the value is changed? For that we have to call a function on change. We'll be calling handle change. So what does this handle change do? We'll be writing the code for that. Constant handle change. This will take an event. That means event means the thing that is happening, like what triggered the handle change. That is the event. What triggered handle change. Now when the handle change is triggered, like whenever the value is changed, then we'll call set search term and then send the value that triggered the event. Like if we change something, like if we type Avengers inside the search box, then that means we are triggering hand on change. That means the search box content is changed. So what will be the event? Event will be that event regarding to that type that we are giving Avengers. How to get the value of Avengers? That is event.target. Event.target.value. Target.value. So with this, we'll be basically doing the thing that we need. Like whenever we type something inside the search field, then the value changes, and then value is automatically given to search term whenever it is changing. And one more thing is, when we press enter after typing some value and press enter, then we want to get all the YouTube results mentioning that search thing, right? So that we'll do here on key press. So this on key press is basically, this is also the prop that is present inside the text field. We are simply using it. The code that we need to perform, we'll be calling a function, that is on key press. On key press. Okay. So now again we have to write the code for on key press. Similarly, constant on key press is equals to, it will take a event. That means the event that triggered this function. And then if event is equals to enter, event.key equals to enter, then only we have to submit the request, right? So on submit search item. So what should be the search item? So basically we are sending this search item, means the value of the search box. This we are sending to on submit. On submit is a function that we'll write in app.js. We'll call it, we'll write the function for that. What it should do? It have to fetch the data from the YouTube API based on this value, and then it have to return us. We'll cache it in a response and console log it. What we'll see what is happening. So this is basically the the final version of the search bar. We have imported it, we have created the hook, we have wrote the code for the handle change and on key press. Finally, we have created the style that what the user should. This is basically the backend, server side coding type of thing. The user does not see this. This is the logic that we are using. The user sees is this part, what we are returning. The user will see this, and when he does something on that return part, then the code corresponding to that will happen. Finally, we have to export the search. Export default search bar. So once we export it, go to app.js and then import it. Import search bar. So basically, instead of now we created search bar and we imported. In future videos, the next video or the next couple of videos, we'll create video detail, video list, and import them in another line. Import video detail from components. So in big projects, in real life industry level projects, there'll be so many components, like hundreds and thousands of components. So we should not write everything all the 1,000 lines. If the app.js contains all the 1,000 lines, then it is not meaningful to React. React basically we are using to easy the process of writing code, shortening the code. So what we'll do is we'll create an index.js file, and then we'll write a small bit of code. We'll export the components that we need to export from the components folder, and then from that index.js we'll be importing all the components in a single line. We'll see that in the later part of the project. So firstly, now we got the search bar that we exported from the search bar.jsx, and then in the app.js, after exporting it, now I'll be writing the function to handle submit. As I said here, instead of in here on submit, I'm sending a search item. So how to handle this submit? I'll be writing it over here. So I'll be using async function. Async function. Async await is the good thing in JavaScript. For that, if you want to learn more about that, you can go through the documentation that it has. It basically helps us for multi-processing grid computing type of thing. Grid or cloud. What cloud computing basically uses async await, that kind of thing, it will help us. So we'll handle the submit over here. Handle submit is the function name. We'll be taking the search item. So here one thing that you have to write is search bar. We have to we imported the search bar, right? So we'll be using the search bar component. Search bar. Right. So now we have to send one prop on submit. We'll be sending handle submit. That means on submit is the prop name. So this is the parent component. We are sending it to the child component. On submit is a prop name, and we are sending this function handle submit as the value of that prop. So inside the search bar, when you get that prop, so how to catch that prop? We have to catch here in the search bar, we have to catch the on submit prop. On submit prop. So once we catch it, now we are using it over here. On submit. This should be capital. Yeah. So we are catching that prop, and when the key value is entered, when we are entering the search, then we are calling that on submit search item, sending the search item. So basically we are calling this function handle submit, and then we are sending the search item that the user typed in the search box. So now we will be writing the code for what to do after that. Now we'll create some response, and we'll be using the await. This is basically fetching the API YouTube.get search, comma, and then we need to send the parameters. Parameters will be part, will be snippet. I'll explain the code after writing it, so just wait patiently. I'll explain each and every line. Snippet, max results will be 5, and then key will be we wrote the key somewhere here, right, in the YouTube.js. Yeah, So we'll be copying this. This is the API key and we'll be using it here. Should be sent as a string. So just add a braces, okay, quotes over here. And Q will be search item, right? So yeah. And after this, we'll just console.log the response. So what here we are doing is, as I explained everything, like how the handle, submit and props work, we are getting the search item, what the user want, what kind of videos the user want. Now we'll be asking YouTube the get method, and then here search will be the parameters, like on what basis the UPI ID should search for these values, right? So here we forgot a comma. Okay, so the parameters will be, part will be snippet. This is the default parameter, like we have to give. Max results 5 means like how many videos we want to return. Like, so the video, we want 5 videos, not too many videos. I have to give the API key. And the Q parameter means on what title, like if you open YouTube and search something, you'll get videos regarding it. So basically Q depends to what you are searching for. That is the search item. That is we are getting from the, as the parameter for this handle submit from its child component. And then finally we'll see what response the YouTube API is giving us, right? So there is an error over here. In search bar.jsx, search item is not defined. Search bar. Okay, so I haven't used any search item, right? So it's basically here, it's search term. So it should not be search term. So here it should be search term, right? Yeah. So finally we got the the thing that we want, the paper text field. Here you can search for let me open the developer tool, the console. Okay, so now I'll be typing React.js. As you can see, when I typed React.js and clicked on enter, you are getting some response. There is this response you can see from the data, the headers, the request. Inside the data you will be having the items, and then see all the kind of YouTube, like the ID of that video, the snippet, the published channel ID, title, React tutorial in Hindi is the title of the video. So basically, okay, now I'll search for Avengers. Just let me clear this console. Yeah, perfect. Avengers, and I'm clicking on enter. I'm getting a response here. Go to data, items. We can directly print this data.items. You can see that. Go here. Go to app.js and just response.data.items. To do that, you can now check. Yeah, so now you are simply getting the items, only the video details. So the first thing is a video, title Avengers, and then there's some title, channel ID, at what time they published it, what kind, a prototype, everything, the complete detail of that video you are getting. So this is the response that we'll get from the API of the YouTube that we are using inside the YouTube.js, where basically we saw how to do everything. So with this, we completed the search bar implementation, means searching something, getting the video details. So now how to use this video details and then create the videos, like the main video, and then the right side getting some 4 to 5 videos, so that if we click on them, we can view the video as you can see in YouTube. That we'll see from the next video. Hello and welcome to this new video. In the last video we saw how to implement the search bar, like this thing, and if you type something over here, for example, let me type Avengers and click enter, and in the developer tools console we can see this URL has returned, like the API we use, YouTube API has returned a 5 movie list, array of 5 movies, which contains the detail like the snippet, that means the published time, the channel ID, the title of the video, and everything, the the thumbnails also. you can see everything. All the details regarding to those 5 videos we'll get in the search. We are getting the information and we are printing it. So now what we'll do is, instead of printing the response data items, we will store them in a useState hook, and then we'll we'll call them with the set videos function, and then use the React state hooks and then set videos. We'll see how to do that. First thing, you have to create the hooks. So let me create hook, const videos, set videos, okay, is equals to use state. Okay, sorry, this should be inside a function, not inside the return statement. Or X, that will be fine. Okay, yeah, good. So what we are doing is, we are creating a constant called videos that will store the data of the videos that are fetched from the YouTube API. And then this set videos is a function that will change these videos values. So first, initially the videos are of empty array. Once we get the response, then we have to store the response inside the videos. So as you can see here, we are getting the response. Oh, 1 second. Use state is not defined. We have to import the use state. Okay, over here, import use state. So import use state from React. Now there won't be any errors. Yeah. So now I'll search for a movie, and then you can see I got a result of 5 videos. Inside these videos we are having ID, kind, and everything. So I will basically want to store this thing inside the videos, right? So that I will do here. Instead of console logging, first I will do the object destructuring. Instead of getting response, I'll directly get the video details. How to do that? So as you can see in the previous what we did, we printed response.data.items. So I want to store information in a constant, directly the value of that items. Okay, so that I will do now. Instead of response, you'll have data items videos. So this will basically have the videos constant name and store all the detail of the videos that we are getting. Basically this is object destructuring. We are destructuring the data.items.videos information from this API, and then we are storing it inside this constant, videos constant. So once that is done, after getting the data, we can set videos using this videos. So what is happening? We are getting a videos data from to this videos constant, and we are using the set videos method and changing the value of these videos from empty array to the array of videos that we are obtaining from, that we are fetching from the URL. And then after that we will be using another constant hook called selected video. Selected video, set selected videos. Set selected videos is equals to use state, and then here we will be getting the ID. It will be empty object snippet. It could be the empty array object. So yeah, there is a small error over here. So basically these are the selected videos. Like as I said, we are giving the max results as 5. We'll be only getting 5 selected videos. In that selected videos, we'll select a main video, so that here in this main portion we'll have a video displaying its content, and the 5 videos right side of as a list. So the main video, it should have an ID and snippet. That thing will store here, so that we can display the main selected video using the video detail. We'll be sending this as a prop to the video detail and then use it there. Okay, so this is why we are using the selected video hook. And then after set videos, now the selected video should be set selected video should be videos array 0. So by default, if the user doesn't select anything, by default we want one video to be here, right, in the main, like the main casting over here as a box. So that thing will give it default as the first item in the videos array itself. So when we are getting 5 videos from the YouTube API, we will give one API as the main role over here in the video detail. That's why I'm giving videos 0, the first item of that array, to this value, selected video. Now what we'll do, here we'll call a video detail component and send this selected video as a prop, so that we can display that in writing the code inside the video detail. So that thing, the video detail and the rest video list and video item, we'll see in the next video. In the last video, we saw how to implement the React state hooks in app.js by using this video selected video. Now in this video, we'll see how to build the video detail component. So instead of here video detail, we'll be sending the video detail component with some props. The props will be the selected video, so that we should show that selected video with a big box, right? So the prop will be videos will be selected video. So that will be the prop, the video prop will be selected video. Now we have to go to the video detail component. Now we will import some material UI components, paper, typography from material UI core. So these are the components from material UI core. As I said in the previous videos, we'll be using them. Now we'll write the function for video detail. Const video detail. So here now we'll be using the object destructuring method. So as I said here in the selected video in the app.js, you can see we are using the ID and snippet of the YouTube video that we are getting. Basically ID will be every YouTube video will have a unique ID. So we'll be using that ID, and snippet have the details like title, channel title, description of the video and all. So we'll be destructuring those items from this object, and then we'll be using to display them in video detail. So how to do that? Video detail will be the props that we are catching is first one video with the ID. With the ID will be the video ID. Next, the snippet. Snippet will contain title, channel title, and then description. Now once we did the object destructuring, now what the information we are getting from those videos? We are getting the video ID, the unique ID of that video, the title of that video, channel title, and description. So now using this we can show the log the video on the screen to the users. So if there is a video ID present, like if the video ID is null, then we should not give anything. Like if the video is not present in the YouTube API, so how to showcase it, how to present it? So if not video ID, that means the video ID is not present, then we'll return a div saying loading. Okay. Else, if it is not the case, if there is a video ID that we are returning, then we have to build some material UI thing, like using the paper and typography, and we will be showcasing the video. So return First thing will be React fragment. Dot fragment. There should be a closing for this. Inside React fragment, we'll have the paper. So paper will have an elevation of 6. And then style will be custom styling with the height as 70%. And then here inside this, we'll be having the iframe. Iframe. So iframe, the attributes will be frame border will be 0. Height will be 100 pixels, 100%, sorry. Width will be 100%, same as the height. Title will be video player. And what will be the source, like what video should we play? The source will be the video source, video src. So this now we have to declare it, right? So now we'll be writing the code for video source. Constant video source will be https $, and then the video ID. So we'll be getting the video source from the video ID using this URL. So why I use these type of codes? Because when we use these type of codes, we can write the value, we can use some JavaScript constants or some JavaScript variables inside that URL. So to use the video ID, I have used this type of brackets. How to use the JavaScript object or JavaScript variables? Using this dollar operator and then a curly braces. So with this, now we can print that, create an iframe for that video and then play it. So after this paper, I will be having another paper component. This will like have the details of the video, like title, channel title, description and everything. So the elevation will be 6. Style will be the same as, I think, padding 15. Padding will be 15 pixels. Okay, there is an extra colon over here. So after this, we'll be having the title. For that, we should use the typography component. So the title will be channel title. Channel title. Here the variant will be H4. H4 channel title. After that, we'll have another typography component, but this time instead of title as channel title, we'll be only having the channel title with subtitle 1. So here the typography prop will be subtitle. So this works as a subtitle. The variant will be subtitle 1. Subtitle 1. Now the subtitle 2 will be the description. The variant will be subtitle 2. Here the will be description. So you need not to worry about this typography paper. These are basically the components that we are using from Material UI that someone built. We are just using them and using them in our website. The main thing is you have to understand how this object destructuring is happening, what kind of variables we are pulling out from the API, how we are using them, and all those kind of stuff like props, state handling, React state hooks in this app.js, how we are sending the props, this business logic behind the search bar, this on key press, handle change, video detail, and everything you have to focus on. So once this is done, now we'll export it. Export default video detail. So once this is done, now we have to import it in app.js. Import video detail. Yeah, that's done. Okay, so constant video detail. Yeah. I have just fixed the bugs that we are getting. So there are two things that we missed over here. Here I gave video ID, and here instead of video ID I gave capital D. So change that to video ID, and also import React, because here we are using react.fragment. So we have to import React. So when you make these changes, save this and open our app. So you can see as of now there is nothing in the search. So therefore we are not getting any video ID. That means video ID is null. That's why we are getting this loading component. But if I give some value to the search, like let me give Avengers and then enter. So what will happen? So basically we'll fetch data from the YouTube API. It will have a video ID that we'll use as the iframe. We'll use that video source with that video ID, and then we'll print the data like all the channel title, description, and everything. We'll see if we click enter that is happening or not. When I click enter, you can see I got a video like Spider-Man vs. Lego City Avengers action. So this is the video that I fetched from YouTube API. You can see there is a title, another title, subtitle 1 and subtitle 2. So now this is the iframe. There is a tool called toggle pesticide. If you use it, you can see how the iframe division is looking like. This is a Chrome extension toggle pesticide. So you can see that the iframe division over here. Now the next step is we have to also have a video list on the right side. Like we should have a few videos so that we can select from video, and when we click on that video should appear in the iframe, and then we should have a chance to play. Here you can see I can play the video. This is a live video. So like that we'll see how to build that video list and video item in the next video. In the last video we saw how to implement the video detail component. So now in this video we'll see how to implement the video list and then video item component. So here instead of video list, let me write that video list with some props. The first prop will be video, will be videos. All the videos I have to send, and on video select set selected videos. Set selected videos. So what we are doing is, firstly we are sending the videos to the video list. So what videos to display on the right side as a list, and then on video select, if we are selecting if you are selecting the third video from the video list on the right side of the list, then that video should come onto the left side and be visible in the iframe. So that how to do, we'll be sending a function called set selected videos. That means we are sending this function so that we can select this selected video and change accordingly on what video the user is selecting. So now we have to import the video list. Import video list. From /components/video list. So now go to video list.jsx. Now here we'll write the code. First thing, import React. From React, import grid. We'll be using the grid components from Material UI. So we're using it. Import grid from Material UI. /core. Now what we have to do is we'll be building a video item. Okay, this video item means each video that we'll have, like we'll have a list of 5 videos on the right side similar to YouTube, and then each item of that video list is a video item. So that we'll import it in the next video. As of now, we'll continue with video list, just the written part, the basic coding business logic behind the video list. We'll be getting videos and on select video. So what are these? These are basically the props that we are sending in app.js, the videos and select video props that we are catching over here, videos and on select video. Now basically what we have to do, we have to return a grid, return a grid with list of videos. It should be container and spacing should be 10. So what this is doing is, and then wait, export, we will export the default video list. So what this is doing is, we are returning a grid that contains the whole right part of that, and it will contain all the list of videos. So what is this list of videos? This list of videos we have to declare it here. Constant list of videos. Videos dot map video. I'll explain you what I am writing in a while. Just write the code as of now. It should be video item on select video equals to on select video. There should be a key to that video, video dot id dot video id, and then the video will be video. So basically, what is this meaning of, what is this part of code doing? First thing, this is the videos. In this videos object, we're having all the array, like the details of all the videos, the array of videos. So now we'll map. Map means it is basically a for loop. Okay, we are using a for loop on each and every item. So we are getting a single video at every literal of the for loop, and for that video we are passing it to a video item component. We are sending that video and then the key of that video. So whenever we are using a map function and using components inside map function, this key prop is a good practice of sending, because each and every component should be of unique key. So when we are using inside a map function a component, we have to give a key. The key will be the video ID itself, because every video is unique. So that's why the key should be unique. And then the video that we are sending to this video item is the single item of every literal of the for loop, the map function. And on select video, if the video is selected, it should be like appearing on the left side as a iframe. So for that business logic, as I said before, we have to import the video item also. I'll import that. Import video item from /video item. So basically we have completed the code for video list. So now what to do inside the video item? So basically when you go into you have to create a component called video item .jsx. Once you create the component, here we'll be using grid paper typography and a small function to display all these videos, all these 5 videos that we are getting from the YouTube API on the right side of the landing page. So that thing, the coding part of the video item component, we'll see in the next video. In the last video, we saw how to implement the video list component, the coding part of this. In this video, we'll see the coding part for video item. So each and every item of that list. So firstly, we have to import React. And I will be using the styling. For styling purpose, I will be using the grid, paper and typography components from the Material UI core. So import them. Grid, paper. As I said, if they are not default exports, then we have to use this curly braces. That's why, since React is a default export from React component, we are importing it without any curly braces. But grid, paper and typography are one of the exports that Material UI core has, so we have to import them using these curly braces. Typography, right, from Material UI core. Once this is done, create the function for video item. So coming to the props, what are the parameters that we are getting in for this video item function? You see in video list, we are sending 3 parameters. One is the key, one is video, and one is on select video. So now those things will catch over here. We'll catch video and on select video, since we don't have any use with that key. So it will be video, on video select. Once this is done, we'll return. We'll return a grid. So the grid, the item will be excess will be 12. As I said, these are from the Material UI code that we are using simply. And then the paper. The style will be display, will be flex. Align items will be center. Cursor will be a pointer. Cursor will be a pointer. So after this, on select, on click we'll be calling on select video. On video select will send those video. So I have used Alt Z shortcut so that it will everything will be it will like item, the text alignment, all the text will be wrapped in a single screen. You don't need to move the bar left and right. So Alt Z is a useful shortcut. So what is happening is, on click, whenever we click on a particular element, then we are calling a on video select function and sending this video. Where we are getting this on select function? We are getting from the parent component, that is video list component. Here also we are sending on select video and on select video. So where we are getting this on select video prop from? We are getting from parent component app.js. So video item parent component is video list components parent component is app.js. So basically we are sending that function through all these components. So this is called as state management and sending props from one component to another. So inside this app.js, when we are triggering this on click function, this is a callback function. So when the on click is performed only, then only we are calling this on video select function, and this in return will go back to the initial state where it is called in app.js, and then there we are calling this set select videos function. Set select videos function should have a parameter so that it will change the selected video to the video that we are sending it as a parameter. So where we are getting that parameter from? This will be that parameter, the video. So the current video on which the user is clicking, the video item, that we'll go to app.js, change this selected video, and based on that, the video detail will be based on the selected video component. This is how we are working with the video list, video item, and all the parent state management and parent to child component props transfer and all. So this is the logic. Now the remaining thing is we have to the source will be okay, second, yeah. So the image component style will be margin right should be 20 pixels. Alternate should be thumbnail. And the source will be video dot snippet dot thumbnails dot medium dot URL. So this is the URL of that video that we want as the image. And then after the image, we'll have a typography. The typography will be in bold. We'll have video. These are basically the attributes that the video contains. Like in the starting, we console logged what the response will have. It will have a snippet, it will have ID, it will have details, everything detailed regarding the video. So the snippet contains the title of the video. So here we should send a variant prop. Variant should be subtitle 1. So once this is completed, let me check whether there are any bugs or not. Everything is fine. On select video, we are calling this. It is going to the app.js and sending this video to that set selected video hook, and then we are changing the video detail, appearance to that item that is selected. By default, we'll have a video detail that is given to the array 0th element, video snippet title and the URL for the image, everything. Finally, we have to export it. Default video item. Once this is done, in the video app.js, you can see we have imported the video list. Everything is pretty good. Let us see whether it is working or not. Okay, there are no errors. So let us click on select Avengers. If I click enter, then we are getting some errors. There is a small bug in the code. Like here, instead of video item, in video list.jsx, the key video.id. So the ID inside the video contains the video ID. So video.id.video ID. Once you change this, save this and open your website. So now when you select some video like Avengers and click enter, then you can see we are getting the five videos that are obtaining from the YouTube API. You can see the first thing as default here in the iframe. Now when you select something, then there we are getting some error. On video select is not a function. So we have did a typo error over here. Instead of on video select, we initially had on select video, right? So it's not on select video because in app.js we have given the attribute as on video select. So it should be on video select. Change that in video list. On video select. So everything should be on video select. So on video select is the name of the prop that we are sending the on video select function to. We are sending to the parent, to the bottom child component, so that we can use it in the parent component and change the main video detail video based on the user selection. So after changing this, save it and open your website, refresh it. Now click select Avengers. Now you can see you are getting a few videos over here. The default one is the first item of the array. Now for example, I will select this video. Then you can see the video is changing over in the video detail. If I select this video, you can see it is changing. You can also play Everything that you can do in YouTube, you can do it over here. You can play, you can you know, you can open it in YouTube if you want, or if you open the first scene, you may also have subtitles if you want. You can see there are subtitles coming. So this is basically, you can do everything that you are doing in YouTube. Okay. So with this, we have completed all the business logic part and coding for the YouTube, like the video sharing platform that is similar to YouTube, using the Google Developer Tools YouTube API. So now in the next video, we'll discuss the summary of what we are doing and also few tips of working with GitHub and how to like work with other GitHub repositories if you are downloading them or cloning them. We'll see that in the next video. Welcome to the final video of the project. We have seen all the coding part of how to build this video sharing platform using the YouTube API. Now in this video, we'll see, like, we'll revise the complete starting step to ending step what we did. Firstly, we have imported the Axios for REST API handling for using the GET request, POST request, and then secondly the Material UI for styling part of our website. We imported the grid and everything. Here we have used hooks so that we can change the videos and selected video based on the user interactions with the home page. And then we have did some styling part using grids and paper. We have had a search bar component, video detail component, and then video list component. Then we have used this search feature so that we can, when we click a search item and then click on enter, we'll be getting the detail from the API that we used. 5 results we'll be getting, and then we'll set the videos to those videos that we get, and also the selected video to the default starting element of the videos array. Now when we go to search bar, you can see like it's simple. Basically we have used a paper and text field and 2 functions. One is on change and on key press. On key press, whenever we click on enter, we are submitting it and sending the search term so that we can get the data from API. Handle change means we are simply like changing the set search term to that value on which the user is typing. This is basically simple search bar. And then video detail. We are destructuring all the data that we want from the video. If there is a video ID, there is not a video ID, then we have to print a division called loading. If there is a video ID based on the video YouTube URL, we'll be printing that URL, like we'll be showing that video to the user. Using that and the styling part, we have used the paper, typography and React fragment and everything. And then video list. Video list is basically the right side part of the video of our website. In this video list, we'll have 5 items, like maximum of 5 items. So every item is a component. Since we are using it inside a map function, we have to send an ID so that every component should be unique. And then on video select, whenever the video is selected, then we have to change the video detail, the video ID to that video ID. So for that, we'll be using this on video select, and then inside the video item, we have some styling, and whenever user clicks on that on click, we'll call that on video select function, sending this video. So now in app.js, whenever this on video selected is triggered inside video item, then set selected videos, that video will be selected, the item in which the for loop is presently. And then based on all the hooks and everything, the data will get updated. So now once you can see, when we click on this, you can see only this part of the website is getting changed. That is the beauty of React. Whenever you are working with components, only the components that need to get updated will get changed dynamically. Remaining all components will be in rest, not in motion. So they'll be in rest. So this is the beauty of React. Like whenever we change something, the page it does not need to refresh again and again. Only the components that need to get updated will change. So this is basically and also you saw YouTube how to go to the YouTube developer console, create a new API key and use that API key. So this is the API key. You can use this if you are getting access, but if you are not getting, you can simply create a new API key and use it. And it is also suggested to keep the API key inside environment variable so that if your organization, it won't there is no threat for cyber security. Since this is a small project that we are building, I have used this. One more thing before finishing up. So this is basically the coding part and everything that we discussed in the starting of in the first video, that what we will do. We have completed our task is achieved. You can also, not only this, you can also search anything. You can search for Star Wars, getting videos related to Star Wars. For gaming, you can search some games. You'll be getting the videos for the games. So basically everything, you are getting everything what you search. This is basically a simple solo, like your simple own project of YouTube kind of thing. We are basically using their data only. So with this we have completed the project. One thing I want to give you as a tip is, whenever you are cloning some GitHub code or you are downloading some GitHub code, what basically happens is, when someone push code into the GitHub, they won't push the node modules or the package.json, package log.json files, because they are of huge size. So they will only push the main files like public, source, and these all remaining files. So when you download all of them, go to the directory and then open in the terminal, go to the directory and click on one command, git install. Okay, I'll show you. Just see, I am in the video sharing app directory. So ls, if you click ls, you will not be able to see this node modules when you are downloading it from GitHub. So to get everything, all the packages and the modules that the code is using, to get everything, just click on npm I or npm install. Anything is fine. Then it will download, install all the packages that are required for this website, and then you can start your app. npm start. So okay, if you are also, all the code that we did will be available to you when you download everything. You make sure that you do this npm install, so that you'll be getting everything, all the packages that I used, and then you can start changing this, or based on changes that you want. npm install is the thing that you have to do. So yeah, so with this we have completed our project of video sharing application. I hope you enjoyed and learned React concepts through this project. Thank you.